Budget running low? Just film your opening credits at an Italian restaurant during the cast party. If you'll remove your credits, signori, I'll gladly put down your complimentary garlic bread. Molly's growing up, it's a euphemism. Wait, maybe this is the wine list. How's the Donald M. Hatfield Reserve Merlot? Actually, I better stick with the $2 Chuck Laurents. I am on a budget.
When people came, I don't think the church could have held anymore. The whole church was lighted with candles. And the first wedding.
And there's nobody there.
And golly, you should have seen the bride. She had the most beautiful dress I've ever seen. It was all white satin.
The voices.
Come on, we'll be late for school. Coming, Peggy. I better go now. Goodbye.
Stepford grandmas.
My goodness, Molly is certainly growing up.
Well, yeah, apparently she's enrolled at the state penitentiary. If I hurry, I can avoid a haphazard meeting with Molly.
Hi, Miss Jensen.
Oh!
Good morning, girls. How's your throat this morning, Molly?
Oh, just fine. It doesn't hurt at all anymore.
Well, you'd better stop by my office and let me take a look at it. It won't take a minute.
It'll take an hour. I'm just going to grab a cold one here. You want one?
Okay, Molly, let's take a look. Oh, that's stirring up just fine. Going to the game tonight?
Oh, sure.
Will you please let someone else do the cheering for you? Because that throat is still slightly inflamed.
It's a chess match.
Oh, by the way, Molly, your mother left her gloves over at my house last night.
Whoa, what
She's
the?
always leaving them someplace. See you later.
Okay.
Oh, and your mom also left her gag ball and her cat o' nine tails and... Never mind. Emma Thompson, school nurse.
You know, I've known Molly and her family ever since she first came to school. And I think you might like to know her, too.
Misery loves company, huh?
Molly lives at home with her father,
Heart, kill me now.
her mother,
A giraffe,
and her older sister, Jeannie.
who's 37. I got rejected from Sacramento State?
Jeannie and Molly each have their own rooms. But lately, it seems that Molly is more interested in Jeannie's room than her own.
Molly's playing scoliosis.
Molly and Jeannie get along, well, about as most sisters do.
Molly!
You inveterate bitch.
What do you think you're doing?
Nothing, Jeannie. I just happened to come in and...
A young Natalie Portman in The Minnie Pearl Story.
Honestly, Molly, how many times have I asked you to leave my things alone?
Well, all I was doing was just...
And you didn't get all the lipstick off either.
I'll get the rest of it off on your cigarettes.
Oh, I wasn't going to hurt your old things. I just wanted to try them.
Try
Why
them?
don't you ask Mom for some things of your own? You're old enough now.
What are these? I might like to try them.
Jeannie,
May I have a wish?
when do you think I'll start having periods, too?
Oh, I don't know. Pretty soon, I suppose.
Is that Wally Cleaver on
I
her
was
dresser?
13 when I started.
Well, Peggy's already started hers, and I'm 6 months older than she is.
Proving that girls will compete over
Some start
anything.
earlier and some later. We're all different.
But I want to
The way
win!
you've been acting lately. Shouldn't be long now.
Soon, I'll have a veritable slaughterhouse between my legs.
One day, not long after that, Molly came home from school.
The end. Mildred Pierce prepares for another grueling day.
That you, Molly?
Door-to-door strangler.
Hi, what kind of a day did you have today?
A Tuesday.
Mom, guess what?
I don't know. What?
Mom, I started my first period.
Your first period gym
What
class?
do you know? Come on, sit down. Tell me about
But
it.
not on my good seat cushion.
When did it start?
Well, it was this afternoon when I was changing into my gym clothes, and I noticed a bit of blood on my panties, and...
Whoa.
Golly,
TMI, Molly.
Well, I didn't know what to think. And then I remembered when we talked about
Westminster Abbey.
menstruation and stuff, and, well, then I went to see Miss Jensen.
Oh, my goodness.
I feel faint.
How do you feel?
Like punching my boyfriend in the crotch.
Well, I was hoping it would start soon. But it seems like I've forgotten everything you've told me.
Ollie's
All right,
clearly not the brighter sister.
Tonight will be mother and daughter conference night. And if you'll give me a hand with supper, we'll get started that much earlier.
Okay, I'll wash up and be right down.
Great, now I've got 2 girls who can get knocked up.
Golly. And it won't be long at all before you're quite used to it. You see, honey, menstruation is perfectly normal. It happens every month.
That is, unless
Get
you...
up here.
Well, you can have that talk with your father.
Oh, it's just part of being a woman, I guess.
Like scrapbooking.
Of course, right at first you probably won't be very regular. Most girls don't settle down for a year or so. Even then, some girls go more than a month between periods and others less. That's normal.
Well, that couch is
And
ruined.
eventually your body will set up its own regular time. Please sit up, Molly.
Oh, Mom, I'm comfortable.
She's so whiny.
Well, if you sit and stand straight, that'll give the organs inside your body room to function better. And that'll make you feel better.
Then the crimson tide will flow better.
I'll get it. That's probably Peggy.
Oh, and bring the Resolve stain remover when you come back.
Hello? Oh, hi, Peggy.
Peggy talks fast.
Sure, just a minute, I'll ask. Mom, can I go swimming with Peggy tomorrow after school?
The girl who lacked all common
I'll be
sense.
home by 5:30.
No, it's not a good idea the first 2 or 3 days of your period. You might get chilled and catch cold.
And the sharks will get you.
Oh, that's right. Peggy, of course I can't go swimming. You know I've got the curse. That's right. It
The
is
curse of
just
the
what I
black
said for a
pearl.
couple of days.
A
Okay,
praying
I'll see you
mantis.
tomorrow. Bye.
Good heavens, Molly, you're growing like a weed.
Out of the
I might
ground?
have to let that hem down again. Come on, I'll do it right now.
Okay.
Does everything have to be right now, Mother?
You know, I've often wondered why it is that some women still call menstruation the curse.
Since it's so much fun and all.
Peggy calls it that. And it is kind of a nuisance, isn't it?
I suppose it is sometimes.
Sometimes it's fun.
Just that it sounded sort of old-fashioned to hear you say it.
Just came down for toilet paper.
What are you two up to?
Oh, how were the fights, Jim?
No, not bad.
He's holding fights upstairs.
Something wrong with our aerial, though. We ought to be getting a better picture than that.
Get the picture?
What was all the talk about in here?
Tread carefully, Jim.
Is this a private conference?
No, I don't think so. Do you, Molly?
He's got level 4 clearance.
You tell him, Mom.
Well, Jim, Molly's growing up. She's having her first menstrual period.
Oh, God, why do I ever come downstairs?
Already? Oh, but Alice, I thought... Well, I mean, after all, she's
oh,
only...
Daddy, don't be so silly. I'm not a baby anymore.
I know.
Booyakasha.
But,
I think we're losing him,
No.
folks.
no, honey, I guess you aren't.
I guess it's time to marry you off.
Growing up is fun, but some of the things Molly used to do seem a little silly now.
Now she prefers to
Sometimes
stare
she
into
gets all
space and
mixed up
twirl
thinking
foliage.
about it. She's changing from a child into an adult, and it's a little confusing at times.
She's starting to button her sweater like a cholo.
Molly had lots of questions about what was happening to her. It so happened I had a chance to answer some of them. Her teacher was sick one day and asked me to take her class.
Welcome to Much Ado About
And this
Menstruation.
is true of women everywhere. So you see, menstruation
Texas Longhorns.
is a natural,
Woohoo!
normal process leading up to being a mother. This is a diagram of the uterus, or womb,
Or a ram holding 2 eggs in his horns.
to it. And these the ovaries which produce the egg cells. Now these egg cells are far too small for us to see. Once each month, an egg cell will leave one of the ovaries, go into the opening of the tube nearest to it. And then it's on its way.
Here we see the motorcade rounding the book
Now, at the same time,
depository.
the uterus has been preparing a growing place for this egg. A soft lining of blood vessels and tissues. If the egg unites with a male cell or sperm as it's on its way down,
How does the sperm get in
it's
there?
fertilized. And then when it reaches the uterus, it settles down in this soft lining and begins to grow into a baby.
And then your life is over.
But if the egg cell is not fertilized, it disappears.
With the help of David Copperfield.
And then, since the lining is no longer needed, it too dissolves away.
Then the ram has one hell of a nosebleed.
And it flows out of the body through an opening in the hymen, which is a membrane over the opening of the vagina.
But how does the sperm get
Say
in?
that we are menstruating. Yes, Barbara?
Miss Jensen, when does menstruation start?
Well, some girls start when they're 10 years old, and some when they're 16 or 17.
Some girls start with a semicolon and work up to a period.
To be about 13.
No, I mean what day of the week will it start? My mother starts on Tuesday. Will mine too?
Yes, unless it's a federal holiday.
Because each girl's body
Also
takes
keep
up
in
her
mind
own
that the uterus gets weekends off.
And the time between periods may vary anywhere from 23 to 32 days. And the flow lasts from 2 to 7 days, also depending on the girl's own rhythm.
What if she has no rhythm?
Miss Jensen, how often should you change napkins when you're menstruating?
Well, that depends on the amount of flow, but probably 5 or 6 times a day.
5 or 6 times? What?
Many of your girls haven't started to menstruate.
If it gets that bad, kid, just stick a cork in it.
A sanitary napkin to absorb the flow. It's a soft, absorbent pad, and it's made to fit over the opening of the vagina and to follow the curve of the body.
Why did I ever leave data entry?
The tab ends are attached to a narrow elastic belt, which you can wear around your hips or waist. Now, some girls prefer to use tampons. A tampon.
Did she accidentally grab the travel toothbrush?
Inside a cardboard applicator. It is inserted into the vagina by means of the applicator.
Yep, if it involves going into a vagina, there will be strings attached.
Full, you remove it and discard it. Yes, Molly?
Miss Jensen, is it true that people can tell when you're menstruating?
No, it isn't.
Except for sharks, vampires, and of course your hapless boyfriend.
Change your underwear more often, and be sure and use a deodorant. And pay more attention to your hair and your nails, and plan to wear your prettiest dress.
The rest of the time, fuck it. Dress like a frump and let your hygiene go right down the toilet.
Menstruation is only a part of growing up. As you grow, your body changes from that of a young girl to that of a woman. It's becoming round with the beginnings of
Some of you little chunkers are already round. Tammy.
And hair is beginning to grow in different places. Pubic hair and underarm hair.
And on your upper lip if you're Italian.
Miss Jensen, what about dancing? Can you when you're menstruating?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. Can you dance when you're not
You
menstruating?
can do most of the things you usually do. You can bathe or shower as long as you use warm water.
Do moderately. There is no try.
And you can swim if you wait until after 2 or 3 days after the beginning of your period. And you can go to dances and picnics.
No kidding. I can go to a
Good idea
picnic?
to skate, or ride horseback, or play fast games like volleyball and basketball, or do strenuous dancing like square dancing. or
So stay
anything
off the
that
pole,
moves you around a
girls.
lot. In general, mild exercises are best, ones that strengthen the abdominal muscles are
diarrhea.
particularly good. It's sensible to avoid strenuous exercise when you're menstruating.
Like pummeling your
Be
boyfriend.
sure and tell your mother or me if everything doesn't seem to be just right. Now, I'd like each of you to take one of these booklets about menstruation, and when you finish reading it, if you have any questions, be sure and come and see me.
Wait, that's a
And
watchtower.
remember, menstruation is as normal and natural as eating or breathing or sleeping.
Wait, where does the sperm come from?
Soon, Molly will be a young woman like her Jeannie, having dates, going to dances in lovely romantic dresses.
Isn't she a bit young to be dating
and
Ward
meeting
Cleaver?
new and important friends. There are so many wonderful things to look forward to.
Dating looks fun. I'd like to try it.
Growing up. It's an exciting time.
And now I have to change my own pad for my date with Kenneth Branagh. Well, that was one bloody good dinner. Check, please.